Imagine waking up tomorrow, but the internet never existed. No smartphones, no Wi Fi, no social media, no search engines, no videos, nothing. Now imagine you're 18 years old. You have the same emotions, the same curiosity, the same attraction people feel today, but there isn't a single website to visit. So, what did people actually do? The answer is much older and much more interesting than most people realize. Humans didn't suddenly become curious when the internet was invented. That curiosity has existed for thousands of years. In fact, long before modern countries even existed, ancient civilizations were already creating romantic stories, love poems, statues, and artwork celebrating the human body. Archaeologists have discovered ancient carvings and paintings from civilizations that lived thousands of years ago. Some were created in ancient Egypt, some in ancient Greece, some in ancient Rome. Others appeared across Asia and many different cultures. This wasn't unusual. To those civilizations, it was simply part of life. Some temples even contained detailed artwork showing relationships and human intimacy. These weren't hidden away on secret websites, they were carved into stone, built into buildings, seen by generations of people. Of course, life back then was completely different. Most people spent nearly every hour working, growing food, hunting, building homes, raising families. There wasn't much free time, and there certainly wasn't unlimited entertainment. So imagination became incredibly important. Stories were shared around fires, legends were passed from generation to generation, poetry became popular, romantic songs spread across villages. Instead of opening an app, people listened, imagined, and remembered. As civilizations grew, writing became more common. People began recording stories on papyrus, scrolls, and eventually books. Some were famous love stories, others were private collections copied by hand. Because every single copy had to be written manually, books were incredibly expensive. Owning one was a luxury. That meant very few people had access. Most knowledge spread by word of mouth instead. Relationships also looked very different. In many places, families arranged marriages. People often married much younger than today. Dating as we know it barely existed. Your future partner was sometimes chosen by your parents or by local traditions. That meant many people entered adult life much earlier than modern society. But one thing never changed: human curiosity. No matter the century, no matter the country, people always wanted answers about love, relationships, and attraction. The internet didn't invent those feelings, it only made information easier to find. And that's where the next big change begins. As the centuries passed, the world slowly began to change. One invention completely transformed how information spread: the printing press. Before it existed, copying a single book could take weeks or even months. After the printing press, thousands of copies could be made much faster. Books became cheaper, more people learned to read, ideas traveled farther than ever before. And that included romantic stories, love novels, poetry, private literature. Some books were written simply to entertain. Others explored relationships, attraction, and human emotions in ways that had rarely been possible before. Not everyone approved. Many governments and many religious groups believed certain books should never be read. Some were banned. Some were destroyed. Some had to be hidden. People secretly passed them from one person to another. Owning the wrong book in the wrong place could bring serious consequences. Then the 1800s arrived, and another invention changed everything again: photography. For the first time in history, people could capture real moments. Instead of relying only on paintings or drawings, they could look at actual photographs. It was revolutionary. Soon after, motion pictures appeared. The world's first films lasted only a few seconds, but technology improved incredibly fast. Silent films became longer, black and white movies became common. Eventually, movies had sound, then color. Entertainment was changing at a speed humanity had never experienced before. During the 20th century, magazines became popular in many countries. People could buy newspapers, comic books, fashion magazines, and many other types of printed publications. Television followed. Families gathered around a single screen inside their homes. For the first time, millions of people could watch the same program at exactly the same moment. Then came home video, VHS tapes, later DVDs. Instead of waiting for something to appear on television, people could watch it whenever. The internet arrived, and suddenly, the rules changed forever. What once took weeks to find, now took seconds. One search, one click, instant access. For the first time in history, almost anyone with a connection could explore nearly any topic from home. The amount of information exploded, not just about technology or science, but also about relationships, love, and human attraction. Compared to every generation before, the difference was unbelievable. But here's something interesting. Human biology never changed. The brain you have today is almost identical to the brain people had thousands of years ago. They laughed, they fell in love, they felt attraction, they got embarrassed, they became curious, exactly like we do. The biggest difference wasn't human nature, it was convenience. Thousands of years ago, curiosity often meant asking older family members, listening to stories, reading rare books, or simply relying on imagination. Today, answers appear almost instantly. That speed has completely changed how people learn, how they communicate, and how they spend their free time. Some people believe that's a good thing. Others believe it creates new challenges. Either way, history shows one clear pattern. Every new technology changes human behavior. The printing press did, photography did, movies did, television did, the internet did, and now artificial intelligence is beginning to change it again. So, if someone asks, what did people do before the internet? The answer is surprisingly simple. They did what humans have always done. They talked, they wrote, they imagined, they created art, they shared stories, they formed relationships. Technology changed the tools. It didn't create human curiosity. That has always been with us. From ancient temples, to handwritten books, to printed pages, to movie screens, to smartphones. The way people found information kept evolving, but people themselves stayed remarkably similar. And maybe, hundreds of years from now, people will look back at our generation and wonder how we ever lived without whatever comes next. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Wobbly Tunes for more amazing stories. See you in the next one!